Welcome in to a new video, a brand new beginning for this channel. This is Marvel of the Movies, and my name is Samar Moroki. And today I'm going to be ranking 16 movies that I've watched this year. Now, here's the criteria: those movies are only movies that came out this year in 2026, not something that came out in 2025. Now, I only mentioned 16 movies because, yes, I've only watched 16 movies. I unfortunately have not watched a lot of the other movies that came out this year as much as I would have loved to see them. I just have not had the chance to see them. Again, if you want to support this channel and help me see more movies, make sure you hit the like, make sure you comment, share this video, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe to this channel. That's the only way you can help me. Without further ado, let's get into the top 16 movies. I will put the Rotten Tomato scores and the audience scores on the screen as well, just for your references. I will not mention them as I'm talking because I think they're pretty much irrelevant for me. But I'll still put it there just for your own references. Without further ado, let's get to number. All right, 16. So just an update. I do have a different outfit because I lost the footage for the last two clips. So just a heads up, that way you're not confused. You don't think that you're watching a different video. Um, yeah, just a heads up. All right, at number 16, I got Scary Movie 6. Now, I hate to put it this low because this is one of those movies that I was looking forward to. I was very much anticipated for this movie, but it just let me down. It let me down in a big time. It let me down in a way that I just could not recover from. I watched this movie and I was expecting more jokes. I was expecting more of a parody, but the stuff that we got were very much lame, timid. It felt like they were just holding back. This whole thing in the marketing, they kept mentioning, "Oh, we're coming for cancel culture. We're coming for cancel culture," and they just didn't. They didn't. This movie did not hit well, did not sit well with me. The jokes were pretty much tamed, very lame. Um, there was absolutely no direction for the movie. Now I understand the whole purpose of these movies is just to make fun of the scary movies, like that's the whole premises of this one. But at least with the other ones, at least with the first couple ones, there was a direction for the movie. There was something. There was a full story to tell. This one just felt like it was all over the place. They were just trying to jam as many parodies as they can, and the parodies that they did just did not hit well, did not sit well with me. So for that reason, I think it's the worst movie that I've watched this year. So that's why I have it number 15, just a spot ahead of the Scary Movie. I got the movie Michael. Now I know this movie has made $1 billion. I'm pretty sure it did, worldwide, but this movie just did not feel right. This movie just felt lackluster. It lacked the heart and the soul that made Michael Jackson the character that he was, a beloved character that we all love and adore. And this movie just felt like it did not honor him in the right way. Now, I will say this: I think Coleman Domingo gave a fantastic performance in this movie. I also thought Jafar Jackson was probably the only highlight in this movie, aside of Coleman. The way he was dancing, the way he was moving, he looked very believable, and I did love what they've done with him. I think he honored Michael Jackson in a very great way, so I'll give him that. But the movie overall, the story they were trying to tell, it was all over the place. It felt like they did not know where they're trying to go with that, with his whole life story, and I just did not. It just felt weird. It felt wrong to me. I will say this: there is a second one that's in development, and I do hope that the second one lives up to the hype because the first one, in my humble opinion, was just not it. Did I enjoy it? Yes. Did I sing along with some of the songs? Absolutely. I just felt like this movie have lacked a lot of the character, and that's why I have this movie as low as number 14. I have Jackass. What was it? What was the title of the movie? Um, last best for last, whatever it was called. I have it at number 14. Now, I did enjoy this movie, and this is a movie that I was looking forward towards watching, because I thought, I've liked everything that they've done with the other Jackass movies. But the issue with this one was it's one of those movies where I felt like they were holding back. Now, again, I don't expect the cast to do the stuff that they used to do all these years ago. I understand that the cast is much older. I understand that they've hit a stage in their life where they just simply cannot do the stuff that they used to do. But the whole premise of this one is to show some stuff that were unseen and the stuff that were unseen, it felt like it was kind of holding back. I felt like they had more. I felt like they had maybe even better stuff that they could have showed. Um, Again, I'm when I watch this type of movie, I'm not looking for a story. I'm not looking for a 5 star. I'm not looking for the greatest visual stuff. I'm just looking to laugh. I'm just looking to watch these dumb guys put themselves into the most stupid situations that you can ever think of, and it just felt like they were holding back. That's my only issue. If they just did not hold back, and I felt like walking out of this movie was like, wow, you know what? This felt really like it was a good send off. This just feels like, yes, it was a send off, but they kind of left the door open for potentially more stuff in the future. So it feels like they just have more in the vault that they did not unload, and that's kind of what I was hoping for this one, is that they would unload everything. If this is going to be your last hurrah, make it a good hurrah. It did not feel like that, and that's why. Number 13, I have Mortal Kombat 2. Now, this movie, I did not have any anticipation or expectation for it because the first one let me down in a way that I just cannot describe. It was pretty bad, and it was a very big letdown. That being said, I still watched this movie with the hope that it would be better than the first one. And to their credit, it was. It was much better than the first one. It was more enjoyable than the first one. I thought the action in general was better than the first one. That being said, it was just still not that good. You ask me, like, these are characters that most of us have grew up playing. Um, we know a lot about them. But this one just felt like it was weird because it felt like some parts were rushed, some parts were kind of too slow, and it just, I don't know, it was just kind of weird. I thought they could have done more with this movie, but to their credit, it was better than the first one, so at least they're heading in the right direction if they choose to. Now, number 12, I got the Super Mario Galaxy movie. This is another movie that I was excited for because I really enjoyed the first one, and despite the fact that a lot of people had issues with the first movie, I thought it was really good. It was very fun. It was extremely entertaining. I love the cast. I know Chris Pratt as Mario was a question for a lot of people, but I thought it was a good choice after watching the first one. Coming into this one, I was excited and I was very much anticipated for this movie. However, it just did not make me feel like the first one made me feel. And it was like the first one just felt wholesome. It felt really good. Walking out of this movie felt, like I was like, hey, this is a really good Super Mario movie. This one just felt like they were trying to introduce characters. It felt like the story was a little bit lost. The plot was a little bit over the place. Um, but I thought they kept the same like animation style, which was pretty cool. Again, I have no issues with the voice actors. I thought they were all pretty good. This movie, I want to say it made $1 billion, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. Um, but overall, it was a very good movie. It was enjoyable. But will I watch it again? Maybe only if I want to continue to know the story of where this franchise is heading. Um, I am more likely to watch the first one than the second one if I just want to be entertained and I just want to watch a Mario movie. But yeah, this one just under delivered when it comes to the expectations that I had. Now, coming in at number 11, I have The Drama. This is a movie that I did not have any sorts of expectations towards it. I went in, I watched this movie with no expectations. And it was a good movie. I'll say this. It was a really good movie. Um, I am not going to lie to you. Maybe this is just a me problem. Maybe if you're watching this, maybe you had a better experience. I was extremely lost at the beginning until they, revealed the plot twist in the movie. I was extremely lost. And it just felt like I don't even know what I'm watching. And it messed me up at the beginning, but once, the plot twist was revealed, which I'm not gonna say it right here because I'm not trying to spoil any movies, um, it picked up and I thought it was good. I do like the performance that Robert Pattinson put in. I think he is on a generational run this year and he's just putting in banger after bangers. Um, no pun intended for Seamus. But yeah, it was a really good movie, but it's just, you know, it was one of those movies where I'm probably gonna watch like once, maybe twice. and then I'm probably just gonna forget about it. It's not a movie that I'm gonna keep revisiting. And I know this is not usually how I grade movies, but it's just in terms of this year, I've enjoyed the other movies on the list far more than I did with the drama. That being said, I don't want to discredit it and say it was a bad movie. It was a really good movie. The acting and the performances were good. It's just, it's not a memorable movie for me. But now we're on to the top 10, and I know I already can see it. This is going to piss off some people, but I have The Mandalorian and Grogu at number 10. I know a lot of people hated this movie. I did not think it was good compared to the other Star Wars movie, but that's the issue, is we're comparing it to the other Star Wars movie. If you let it as it is as a standalone movie, it was good. But here's the issue that I have with it. It's just we've seen at this point like 3 seasons, I want to say, of The Mandalorian, a couple spin-off shows where The Mandalorian and Grogu were involved, and we've gone to the point where I don't really need to see a movie about it. I've already seen the shows. I'm more invested in the shows. I've formed a connection when it comes to the shows. But when it comes to the movies, it's not something that I wanted to see. However, it was an entertaining movie. It was an entertaining story. Um, would I say it was like, this movie is gonna say like, oh, Star Wars is back? Absolutely not. This is not the movie that Star Wars need to plant their flag and say we're back. Maybe the next Star Wars movie that's supposed to come out with Ryan Gosling, maybe that's gonna be the one that they can plant their flag on and say like, hey, this is the movie that we're saying we're back. But this is not the movie that I think they should say like we're back. I think this is a movie that it was fun for what it is, but it just felt more like a spin-off from the show than it was a Star Wars movie. And that's the only reason why I have it very low. Otherwise, it was not a terrible movie. And if you rewatch it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's not terrible. It's just unnecessary, and it did not feel that connection with the characters that I had in the show. And if you're somebody who's new and you're watching this movie, you might have enjoyed it far more than I did. Somebody who've watched the shows and have all these expectations and know the background story of all. At number 9 is a movie that I did not have high expectations for, because those type of movies are the movies that tend to let you down. But I was extremely pleasant with the movie because it brought me back to 2023 with the Dungeons of the Dragon movies. It literally gave me the same vibes, and I'm talking about Masters of the Universe. This movie was really, really good, very fun, really good action scenes. And if you've watched Masters of the Universe growing up, you would have absolutely loved this movie. And I thought it was good. I thought it was shot very well. It looked like, Rotten Tomatoes critics and the fans agreed that it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. This is a movie that I can see myself revisiting multiple times. Um, Again, my only issue is just Jared Leto's Skeletor. I'm not a big fan of him or his work, and I thought they could have done it. They could have brought in somebody else who would have brought more to that character. I just wish that we've seen more of the sarcastic and funny side of Skeletor. I feel like we saw more of the serious side of him, which is fine. But I just wanted to see a little bit more of him. That being said, um, I thought the cast was amazing. I thought they were fantastic. They had really good chemistry with each other. And again, this is a movie that's very easy to watch, very fun to watch. Um, and it was extremely surprising. At number 8, I have a movie that I had high expectations for, not the highest. I had like somewhat of a higher expectations for it. And I'm happy to say that it delivered and exceeded a little bit, and I'm talking about GOAT. If you did not watch GOAT, it came out earlier in the year and it feels like it's been so long ago. This was genuinely one of the best movies that came out this year. I love the animation style. I love the story. I mean, again, if you're somebody like me, I'm a Golden State Warriors fan. This felt like a Steph Curry movie, and watching this movie just felt extremely fun, very refreshing, very new. Um, and the animation was really good. Like it was a really good well animated movie. I love the voice actors in the movie, and overall, it was just very fun to watch, very easy to watch. I mean, I've reached a point where you know I don't think that they can do any wrong. The studio when they made this movie. So yeah, I came in with higher expectations, and I'm happy to say that they extremely delivered, if not exceeded a little bit. If you haven't watched Goat, you know, please find it. I'm not sure where it's streaming at right now, but please find it. Please watch it. It is genuinely one of the best movies. Coming in at number 7, I got Hoppers, a movie that Pixar have had really bad stretches recently in the last few years when it comes to their movies. They absolutely hit it out of the park with this one. I thought, you know, for an original Pixar movie, I felt it was fresh. It was fantastic. The story they were trying to tell is good. The voice actors were really good, and the animation style was really good. It's after all, it's Pixar animation. Let's not forget about it. Um, but it was a really good movie. It was um in terms of original movie, it was Pixar's best one in the recent years. So yeah, I absolutely loved it. I have no complaints about it. This is a movie that is another easy to watch movie. Um very wholesome. So yeah, it like completely checks the box when it comes to what I want to see from Coming in Pixar. At number 6 is a movie that I did not watch in the movie theaters because when I saw the trailer, I thought it was going to be stupid. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought it was going to be stupid, and I completely ignored it and completely forgot about it. Then I saw the reviews, and I saw a lot of people talk about how good it is. I was like, okay, maybe I'll give it I'll check it out. I go on Prime, put on the movie, and it is The Sheep Detective. Surprisingly, one of the best movies of this year. I have no idea how. I genuinely cannot explain it. It was a really good story. I do love a murder mystery story, and this was exactly that, except it has sheeps and lambs and rams, and it was fun. It was cute. It was just good. It was just freaking good. Like, how can you make a movie that includes sheep called The Sheep Detective and make it look good? Make it make the story look good with all the different plot twists. Mind you, I'm usually pretty good at figuring out who the killer is when it comes to the murder one. This one I kind of struggled with it a little bit, not gonna lie. I did figure out before the actual reveal, but it was one of those tricky ones. They kept throwing you off. Um, but it was fun. If you haven't checked it out, please check it out. If you have Prime, which I'm pretty sure most of you do, um, please check it out. It's on Prime. It's there. It's free. Um, it it is genuinely mind blowing how good this movie is, and I was not expecting that. Did not have that on the movies that I was anticipating to watch this year. When I saw the trailer, I just chose to ignore it because I was like, it just looks stupid, man. It just looks stupid, but you never judge a book by its cover. On to the top 5. At number 5, I got Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender. This is a newly released movie. I did watch it on Paramount Plus. I know some movie theaters showed this movie, but none of the ones around me showed it, so I just watched it on Paramount. I was at Comic Con, at San Diego Comic Con this year, and this was one of the movies that were heavily being advertised with posters and stuff all over the convention. So I was intrigued by it, and I did watch it, and I'm happy to say that it lived up to the expectations. This was a very fun movie, very good. It is a typical Avatar movie, and it was just the story was incredible. I love the direction that they were heading with the franchise, and it was just really good. It was very good, very nostalgic for me. If you've watched the Airbender show on Nickelodeon, you would have absolutely loved this movie. Um, so yeah, I'll say this: number 5 and number 4, you can interchange them, and I wouldn't be mad. But yeah, this one just felt fresh, felt like we haven't seen it in a while. I do love the new style of animation that they were implementing in this one, and it just brought me back to like my childhood. Um, just watching Nickelodeon, and it was really good. It was a fantastic movie, one of my favorite movies of the year. Um, yeah, again, you should just go watch it. Maybe I should have put this movie at number 5, and maybe by the end of the year, when I make this list again with all the movies that are coming out later this year, it will be at number 5. Though I highly doubt it. I feel like it's just gonna fall. But at number four, I got Toy Story 5. Again, this is a franchise in the Toy Story that, again, Toy Story 5 is a movie that I did not want. I've said it, I don't want to watch this movie. I don't want this movie to come out, not watch it. I was excited to watch it. I did not want this movie to come out because I was like, what's the point? I thought four was unnecessary in the first place because I thought, hey, three was the perfect ending. And till this day, my favorite Toy Story movie is still Toy Story 3. I know some people will argue it's one. I think it's three. I think three is the best one. I think one comes in second. But I'm happy to say that, in my humble opinion, I think the third best Toy Story movie is the fifth one. I loved it. It was really good. It was great. It was telling a really good story. It brought me back to like that feeling of the original Toy Story. It's about the toys, and I love the whole like, hey, let's just include the modern day drama when it comes to like toys and electronics and all that stuff. And it showed that, hey, electronics doesn't necessarily have to be the bad thing. Um, Actually, maybe I should stop. Maybe there are some people who haven't watched the movie, so no spoilers right here. Again, just go watch it. Just if you haven't, just go watch it. But yeah, overall, very fun movie. Um, it's Toy Story, so I thought the fourth one was entertaining but unnecessary. I thought the fifth one was completely unnecessary, but after watching it, I get it. It makes sense. I understand why you had to make the fifth one now. Well, not had to, but you chose to make the fifth one. I do anticipate Toy Story 6 at this point, just to complete this trilogy, but I guess we'll see where they head with this franchise. But I was extremely happy with Toy Story 5. But now let's get on. Now, I did say that if you were to interchange 4 and 5, I wouldn't be mad. The top three, I would not change them at the moment. There are a couple movies that are coming out later this year, that I do anticipate that they will maybe crack the top three, potentially the top five for sure, almost for sure. And those two movies are Dune and Avengers Doomsday. If you know me, you know how much I love the Marvel universe, and I feel like Avengers Doomsday is going to be a movie that, I don't know. It just, I have a feeling that it's going to be one of those movies where people are not excited, or like people are gonna shit on it and be like, "Oh, it wasn't a good movie." But for me, it's gonna be high on my ranking just because of how much emotional connection I have with the characters. I got sidetracked. Let's go back to the movies. At number three, I have one of the best movies of the year. The first movie that I gave 5 stars on Letterboxd this year, and that is Project Hail Mary. If you watch this movie, it was fantastic. It was great. It is one of my favorite space movies, or sci-fi movies in general, alongside Interstellar. I just think this movie was fantastic. It was done well. I love that it was shot and everything was just practical shots. The story was great. Ryan Gosling gives off one of his better performances in this movie. It's just a movie that's very hard to hate on. If you watched it, you would have absolutely loved it. It Again, I don't have enough adjectives to describe this movie other than amaze, amaze, amaze. Um, the relationship between Ryan Gosling's character and Rocky was just fantastic. Uh, it was just overall a great movie, man. I genuinely don't know what else to say about this movie. If you haven't seen it, it is also on Prime. Make sure you go watch it. I haven't watched it on Prime yet. I just want, like, when I watch it, I don't want it to be in the background. Like, I want to be able to like sit down and watch it again. Um, Try to re-experience it for the first time, though I will never be able to do that. This movie visually was amazing. The story was amazing. Um, the acting was just great all over. Uh, yeah, this is one of the best sci-fi movies ever made, and I am gonna die on that hill. This is one of my favorite. That being movies. Said, at number two, I have The Odyssey. And again, if you have been following me for a while, you know that Christopher Nolan is my favorite director of all time. Um, and The Odyssey was a movie that I was extremely, extremely excited for. I was anticipating this movie. I was looking forward to it. Um, and not only did it live up to my expectation, it absolutely shattered it and exceeded it. I thought this movie was fantastic. The story they were trying to tell was just amazing. visually, this movie was just so freaking good, man. And just the storytelling and the acting, and a lot of these actors got a chance to showcase their skills, and Christopher Nolan got to showcase how great he can be. All a lot of the characters. I mean, I've seen so many people talk about Tom Holland's performance in this movie that was weak. I don't know what movie they were watching. I thought his performance was really good. Um, you could say he was one of the weaker performances. That's fine, but I thought the performance that Tom Holland gave was fantastic. Of course, Matt Damon. Probably going to be a front runner for an Oscar. Um, for the best lead actor. He was just really good. Um, Robert Pattinson, once again, he's on a generational run right here. Someone get these beggars out of here. Great movie in general. Um, it is just it's crazy to me because they extended the run for this movie in the IMAX theaters till September, I want to say, because of the high demand for it. I had a friend who went to watch it on a regular screen. Again, because where I live, there's not a nearby IMAX movie theater. But he went to watch it. Mind you, he went to watch it this past weekend. So it's been what, about a month or so since the movie came out, and he said the movie theater was absolutely packed. There was almost no empty seats. This movie's still making numbers. This movie's still being watched by a lot of people. So yeah, The Odyssey is a movie that's gonna live, that's gonna stand the test of time. This is, I want to say, it's the highest grossing movie for Christopher Nolan, or maybe the second, but I know it's breaking all sorts of records for Christopher Nolan, and deservingly so. I thought this movie was fantastic. I thought it was great. Um, but yeah, I have it at number two. And again, I would have it at number one. I would, but you'll see why I have number one at number one. But coming in at number one, I have Spider Man Brand New Day. And again, if you know me, you know that this movie means so much to me personally. This is a movie that I've anticipated for so long. This is a movie that I've been looking forward to for a while. And this movie lived up to my expectation. Now, if you were to ask me if movies were to end today, which movie would I vote for Best Picture? I would totally give it to The Odyssey. Maybe Project Hail Mary over Spider Man Brand New Day. But my favorite movie of this year so far, it is still Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I feel like it's going to take a lot out of Doomsday. And yes, I'm comparing Dune and Doomsday. For in order for them to beat this movie, when it comes to how much I love this movie, this movie was just beautiful. This movie did not need the extravaganza of all the different villains that Spider-Man usually have. This movie, all it needed was just Peter Parker. And I feel like Tom Holland definitely needed this Spider-Man movie to solidify himself, in my humble opinion, as the best live-action Spider-Man, the best live-action Peter Parker. He desperately needed this movie, and that's exactly what this movie delivered. The action was great, the emotions were great. There was comedy when there needed to be comedy. I mean, again, I don't know what else you can complain about when it comes to this movie, because it was just, in my opinion, it was just perfect. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting. Make sure you interact with this video. You hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe. That's very important. This is the only way you can help me to take this channel off the ground and let it grow, reach more audience, and allow me to be able to watch more movies and make more content about movie and sports. There will be more longer videos like this talking about sports. I am planning on doing kind of a my journey into tennis, and how I got into the tennis world, and how I stopped playing tennis. So that's also coming up in the future. Of course, football season is rolling right now. There's soccer that's going to start very soon, like especially with the European leagues. The NBA is on the horizon. There's so much more content to come on this channel. So make sure you subscribe, make sure you share, make sure you like this video, comment on it, share it with your family, with your friends, anybody. Just any sorts of interaction will help me so much. I gladly appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.